Hello and welcome to another NinjaBill Live with NinjaBill and Friends, episode 8. And none of my other guests are currently here at the moment, but I imagine they will arrive when they can. So, just wanted to start out by saying hello, Solomus44. David Hill, welcome as always. And if you folks are interested, you can find me on Facebook at Shinobi Biru. That's on Facebook. On Twitter, it is NinjaBill01. On Instagram, it is NinjaBill1000, and of course, right here on YouTube, but NinjaBill1000. So, onwards and upwards, and let's see. I heard some news today, some interesting news. TJ Maxx has some Transformer cookies. They're chocolate chip cookies, and I'm not a big fan of TJ Maxx stuff, so it probably tastes like crap, but still interesting. Let me say hello to you folks in the chat as well as when I said live. Wolfmus, welcome. There we go. And so yeah, TJ Maxx has some Transformer cookies. They it looks like the from the Cyberverse show, but also kind of reminds me of the 2015 RID series look to the packaging. So still pretty cool. Other news: Hasbro is looking for a graphic designer for Transformers, My Little Pony, Power Rangers, Clue, and GI Joe. So I saw an advert for that and thought that was pretty interesting. There, and let's see, Aru, Firebite, welcome. So how are you all this evening? Let's see, our teacher for life, Nikki, welcome. Hey, Bill, I don't think ACP is going to be able to make it tonight. He didn't sleep well last night and is sleeping right now, and I couldn't wake him. Well, you could still join me if you wanted to, Nikki. So you are always just as welcome as he is. So hold on, let me add in get you an invite. There we go. You are as welcome on the show as he is. So don't ever think you are not, Nikki. And that link is for Nikki right there. If she cares to join, she may join. But yep, she sure is. Yep. Both Nikki and Derek are awesome folks. I can't say that enough. They are awesome folks. And I consider them my best friends. So you know, you both are always welcome on the show. It's not just Derek. So don't ever feel it's just him that has to be on the show. You're just as welcome. In fact, anyone on their shows will tell you the same thing, Nikki. That's that's just it. That's the truth. I'm doing good aside from some weird ass gummy bears from my cafeteria. Um, I don't eat strange candy from schools. As a general rule, even when I attended school way back, many moons ago. They are awesome, David. I'm telling you, I love those guys. I love them. From the very first video, I've been supporting autocorrect primer, and you know, I shouted them out whenever I could. I told everybody about them, and I told them back then. That one day they would surpass me and become more successful, and I'm not surprised they did, and they have. And I'm amazed and honored, to be friends with them. So it's awesome. It really is. So once again, Nikki, if you like to join, by all means, I put a link in there for you to join. So by all means, if you feel like it, do so. And then when Sleepyhead wakes up, he can say hello. Sorry about that. Got distracted for a second, but I am back. So, yeah. My phone's been blowing up. Okay, so I feel like there are duocons, two separate beings that come together to form one complete package of awesomeness. Input, welcome. Can't stay. Just wanted to stop by and say have a good stream, NinjaBill. Oh, that's sad. I was okay. Well, thanks for stopping by. Much appreciated. But you are welcome whenever and however you can. You know, by hook or by crook or by space bridge. That's all. You're always welcome. So I guess I'm doing it solo tonight, and that's okay. So where was I? Oh yes. So I was saying Hasbro's looking for a graphic designer for the Transformers franchise, the My Little Pony franchise, the Power Rangers franchise, the Clue franchise, and finally the GI Joe franchise. So that's a thing. Um, the position they say would report to the art director and be responsible for working with the team on the review and development of books, magazines, comics, and other publishing formats. So there's a full listing, I think, on the Hasbro website. So if interested, if you think you qualify, well, by all means, go check that out. So pretty cool. I didn't realize he had a diva card. I don't think anybody in our community has diva cards. Honestly, we're all just the same kind of blokes. Honestly, we are. I don't think anybody is better than anybody else at this. Some may be more successful, and that's fine. I respect that, and I congratulate them on their success. It doesn't bother me one bit if people are more successful than I am, or anybody is more successful than I am. That's just, yeah, that's they should. No, I don't believe there's any elitism or divas or anything within this community that I'm a part of. I don't believe that for a second. So and I don't think people should believe that either. I have business cards, but those aren't the same thing. Hey, business cards is business cards. There you go. Exactly, David. Exactly. And no one should feel like they are because frankly, I wouldn't tolerate that. There's one thing where I don't like to interfere with other people's success. Like the Rejecticons will be having a show later on tonight, and so I hope people will all go join them. And I was telling them, if I'd have known, I probably would have canceled this show, but they said no, continue, and it wouldn't. And it's not. I wouldn't cancel the show because I I don't want to compete with their success. Uh, um, I, I wouldn't feel right. Plus, I really really enjoy it, man. I never laugh so hard as when I watch those guys or I watch Autocorrect Primer. It's great. I have a diva card. I imagine you do, Nikki. I imagine you do. uh, when is the Rejecticon stream and whose channel is it on? I imagine it's either going to be Inutabi's, Sardo's, Kato's, or Larkin's channel. One of those four. I know they're coming on in about 50 minutes from now. So, since I apparently the only host tonight, this show will probably only run till shortly before 9 p.m. And yeah, so it is what it is. Everybody was busy. Some of the other people I contacted tonight have been busy. Input just informed us he was busy tonight too. Dennis was at a friend's, Dennis Moulton, aka Gotbot. He was going to join, but he couldn't. Or Bill can. And there's Nikki. Just got the boop sound. There you are. Hey Nikki, how you doing? How y'all doing? Can you hear me?
All right, I'm new to StreamYard and I get a double. Do I have to take down the I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you just fine. Now it's up to you if you want to use an avatar or your regular camera. To use the avatar, all you have to do is not use the cam. So it's up to you, but hey, you are the diva in your own words. So there you go.
I
Let's
know I
see.
used to be
Time.
hated.
There you go. Time to do my Cato and wait. Let's see here. It says David Hill said, "Time to do my Cato impersonation. Subscribe to everyone in the chat, folks, and be good to each other." Yeah, he gets that "be good to each other" from me. That's how I close out all my reviews and be good to each other.
It's good to steal good things.
Uh huh. There you
It's
go.
good
It's a
to
good
yeah.
saying. It's a good saying. And everybody should be saying it. Everybody. So, you know, it's great. So where was I? Oh yes. So once again, Hasbro said they are looking for a graphic designer for 5 properties: Transformers, My Little Pony, Power Rangers, Clue, and GI Joe. Uh, um, Position report would report to the art director and will be responsible for working with the team on the review and development of books, magazines, comics, and other publishing formats. So, and you can check that out on their website. So, if people are interested, there you go.
If I wasn't retired, that sounds like a good job.
There you go. What else? There have been listings found for War for Cybertron, Earthrise RC, and Quintesson Alicon. So, those have already been listings found for those, which is pretty cool. Which is pretty. Man, I want an RC so bad. I want an RC so bad. I want that woman. Or Ladybot. Yes, that's more appropriate. Ladybot. There you go. Let's see. Transaren 38, welcome. Let's see. And see. There was. Yes, we are fabulous. And that's the truth.
I'm fabulous.
I'm fabulous. Pack, welcome. How you doing, Pack? And Transaren 38, how you doing, bud? Haven't seen you in a while. I just watched your review that you posted, your Earthrise review. So it was pretty good. And if anybody is not familiar with Transaren 38's channel, go ahead and subscribe to him. Don't leave my show yet. Go ahead and subscribe. And somebody is joining me, and I did not invite them. Somebody is joining me, and I did not invite them. They used the link I posted for you.
Oh.
That's a no-no, folks. That's a no-no. I mentioned that in my show yesterday, which, by the way, was strange. I said in that in yesterday's live stream that unless I email you, generally speaking, that you will not be included in the show unless I email you. And that's no offense to anybody here. It's just that I got tagged on 2 of my live shows, for copyright because somebody had been playing something in the background. And of course, since it's my channel, I got copyright strike for that. So I can't just let anybody join the stream now.
No,
as much as I
yeah, not with the way YouTube is cracking down on all kinds of things lately. Because 1 strike, 2 strikes, you can actually get 2 at once. So all of a sudden, then you don't have a channel. So I totally understand why you're like, I want to know that you know what I need you to do and not play copyrighted music. So that makes sense to me.
Well, see, David, that's not true either because, see, you could use an avatar. On this show, you can either use your avatar or, show your face on camera. It doesn't. Then there's being Copa. Yeah, that too, Master Par. And again, I'm sorry, Master Par. Oh, you did get Copa. Oh, that sucks. But where was I? Oh, yeah. So there is that thing from Hasbro. Next, Banana Force has released their next RID themed action figure, and it's supposed to be Ultra Magnus. But I am telling you right now, the images I saw, nothing about that says Robots in Disguise Ultra Magnus. Nothing. Not a damn thing. It didn't look like nothing like Ultra Magnus. And it just, it's been 2 months since I uploaded. Well, that's okay. And there's autocorrect Primer himself. I'm assuming, unless Nikki's double dipping.
No, it's him.
I thought he was asleep. And
he's supposed to be asleep.
Did you punch him in the head to knock him out? Then he ain't sleeping.
Not today.
That he ain't sleeping.
The cat probably woke him up.
There you go. Which one?
Revan. He chases his sister, and she cries.
Ah.
He's a youngin', so we're still teaching him.
There you go. No, what's David saying here? No, I'm the guy in the back room that carries equipment in. I never get on stage.
I used to not.
Well, there you go. Just peeking in during movie night. Well, thank you very much, Cato. Thank you. Always a pleasure seeing you, buddy. Always a pleasure. But anyway, so yeah, Banana Force is releasing the next figure, as I was saying, and it looks nothing like the RID Ultra Magnus. If you're not familiar, give me one moment, and I will show you that figure.
I'm trying to think if I got any new toys. I know Derek got some new toys because this is birthday month, so we got lots of new toys.
Oh, I got nothing new. I got nothing new. I got nothing new. I got lots of old. But anyway, so if you're not familiar with Robots in Skies or Carved Robots Ultra Magnus, this is what he looks like. Okay? This is the Robots in Disguise Ultra Magnus. And I don't have an image to show that Banana Force right now, but no, it's nothing like this Ultra Magnus. It's nothing. It looks nothing like it. So let's see here. Tomorrow, Master Bar, I would very much appreciate if you keep the politics out of my chats. This is your only warning. Otherwise, I'm putting you on a timeout. I hate to be that guy, but this is your only warning. So, all right. Moving on. Let's see. Everybody is saying hello in the chats. But yeah, so that Banana Force, what are they calling it? I think they're calling it Great Armor or something like that. But it looks, it looks nothing like this Ultra Magnus. I mean, it has some cues there, but no. Transformers. Bumblebee Cyberverse Adventures Season 3 is to air. Basically, it's going from Cyberverse to Transformers Bumblebee Cyberverse Adventures is now what it's going to be called. So, I saw a trailer for that today. Looks pretty good, quite enjoyable, and it looked awesome. I also saw the new Studio Series 61 Voyager Sentinel Prime sneak peek, and I was never a big fan of the Sentinel Prime toy, but I got to tell you, I may want this one. What looks like poop, Trans Aaron? I must have missed that comment. Okay, looks like poop. What looks like poop? Oh, you're talking about the RID Ultra Magnus? The RID Ultra Magnus Trans Aaron 38 is a solid toy. It is. It's a solid toy and one I greatly enjoy. It is. It's a solid toy. It's one I greatly enjoy. It's built solidly. Nothing is ever broke. Nothing. Now, given some of the chrome paint has chipped because it's got blue and silver chrome on it, but otherwise, it's an awesome toy and can combine with Superfire Convoy to make God Convoy and Godfire Convoy, and and it's awesome and it's great, and it looks great in both modes. Yes, the legs, he has really long. I mean, he's got the legs of a model. I mean, look at that. That's all leg. That's all leg. There's the top of the bot, and look at those hips all the way down on the feet. He got some long legs. He's styling. But it's a great toy. I love the toy. Let's see here. Mr. Hanky does. Let's see. What did I miss? I need that Hammer Strike toy. I forgot his count was still signed in. Magnus was an over-glorified set of clothes. Well, yeah, he kind of is. I can't argue with that, Master Farr. Magnus from RID is awesome. The new Banana Force sucks. Okay. I was gonna say because I saw images of that new Banana Force. What the hell was it? I just had great armor, and again, I don't know where Banana Force is going with this. Like they totally missed an opportunity with that Superfire Convoy looking action figure by simply the addition of a ladder would have really sold it, would have really took it to a new level. And it's such a missed opportunity. And then they released this image of this, and good Lord, I'm just so disappointed in it. And I'm thinking, wow, why they designed it that way, I have no idea. It's very anime looking, okay, much like the Fire Convoy version was. Very animated looking, which is fine. I dig that. I dig that a lot. What I don't dig is the complete walk away from the original design. I don't dig that at all. Is an even bigger, over glorified pair of clothes. Okay, well, yeah. I can agree to that.
Do you have an example of what an original design is?
Say again?
Do you have an example of what an original design looks like?
I just showed you the original design of Ultra Magnus.
Oh, really? And what's the other one look like? You said you didn't have a picture of the banana pepper.
No, I don't have a picture of the one that they released. You can find it on. I found it on TFW 2005.
Okay.
Where I found it, and in the news there. Now we know ACP is a figment of our imagination. It's true. It's a character she solely created for her stories. It's true.
It's true.
She breathed life. Yep.
I'm talking to people.
Derek is a figment of our imaginations that she created solely to interact with us on any level she chooses.
I know, right?
Because I was on there by accident on your account. So I unsigned out and signed in one. He woke up.
He woke up. Oh, there's the zombie. Hey, Solmus. How you doing, Solmus 44? And welcome. So as I was saying, that Banana Force MPL02 Great Armor, as they're calling it, it's supposed to be an RID 2001 Ultra Magnus, or God Magnus, as he was called, and a car robot. And he is terrible. I mean, it may be a great action figure. Don't get me wrong. The other one was a great action figure, but it was a missed opportunity. Not the simple of addition of a ladder would have took care of that. Would have been awesome. And in this one, it definitely got the anime giant robot feel to it, but it doesn't have the Ultra Magnus feel to it. So, that's just me. Oh, I'm doing well. Thank you, Solmus44. Let's see. What else did I see? I talked about the Studio Series number 61, Sentinel Prime. I saw original in-box images of that. So I don't know if if there's going to be an official release date on it or anything. They just had in-box images of it. So your guess is as good as mine. I don't really know what else to say about it other than that. I don't know. I was never a big fan of Sentinel Prime in the movies anyway. So, I own one toy of him, and that's a Legion class toy, a Cyberverse toy, and that's it. Let's see. That Banana Force guy is bananas. You said it, Master Par. Is it me or every iteration of Sentinel Prime a dick? Yes. Yes, Master Farr, you're right. He is. So what did you think of the Sentinel Prime character, Nikki? Nikki?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I looked it up. I was telling him what we were talking about.
Oh, okay.
That's okay. And I looked it up, and you're right. It does go. The Banana Force goes very far away from that original design. I'm not quite sure either. It doesn't even look like You said Ultra Magnus, just to make sure we're on the same page.
Right? Yeah, Ultra Magnus or God Bomber, depending on what you called him. Yeah, but once again, for the folks who don't know, this is the Car Robots God Bomber. I own him and Superfire Convoy. I don't own the American versions. But, yeah.
Oh.
So, look at all that legs. All that leg. Woo! That's just this part here is taller than a Voyager class. Just his legs alone. It's hilarious. But, no, it really doesn't. Chief Angie, welcome. Oh, that's sad, buddy. Well, maybe next week. Maybe next week.
Ultra Magnus looks a little bit like a bunny with those blue things.
You mean his wings? Yeah. Wait. Master says, "Hey, baby, do those legs go all the way up?" Why, yes, they do. Yes,
well,
they do.
Not, they just stop in the middle and they fall off.
Well, actually, now that you say that, Nikki, that's actually where they detach.
Yeah, see, they do fall off.
That's actually where they detach. Okay, so when you transform into vehicle mode, you remove those, and well, you can leave them on, but more than likely you have to remove. Actually, you do have to remove them. Come to think about it, you have to remove them. It's been a while since I transformed. You have to remove them. So, yeah. And of course,
do not like parts forming.
Parts forming has been around since Generation 1. You don't like it, you don't like it. For me, it's one of those people don't like it. Get over it.
That's just been around about it, and he shows me one that comes apart. I'm like, you're going to lose it. So I got him Ziploc bags, and I like number them and name them and put them in a big bag.
Yep.
Hey, that's okay. That's okay. I put parts and pieces in bags too. I mean,
I think that's coming from the wife in me that knows my husband and knows that he's going to be asking in 3 months, hey, where are the legs to that guy? I'm going to be like, why should I know? What do you mean your Transformers don't stick together?
Mine do. That's what you say. Mine do. I don't do parts forming.
No, he doesn't do many of them.
David asked Ninja, are they compatible with God Bomber or Combiner War Lambs? No, not even slightly. Not even slightly.
That's even worse.
No. This came out before those lines were even introduced. Probably way before. Again, this is 2001 we're talking about. So these figures came out before those lines were even being, probably engineered. And for example, this is the post for God Bomber's leg. It's, I'd say, about half an inch in diameter. And this here is the port that it goes into right there. So right there. So again, it's not compatible in any way, shape, or form. So just not compatible. But as I was saying, I keep things in baggies too. Like, unfortunately, my Generations Scourge is now in a baggie because he broke. So nothing I can do about it either. The problem is when you transform him, and I will quickly show this off as best as I can. When you transform him, this chest and the arms inside slide up. Well, unfortunately, a part of that slide inside snapped. And in order to open it up, you have to access 3 screws. You have to access 3 screws. But there is one more screw in there that you can't get to, which it is a total bummer because that screw is inside the cavity there, and there's no way to get to it. You can see that screw port right down in there. I can't get to that screw port, so I can't repair it. I could probably glue it and fix it, but I can't get to that screw port. So for now, he lives in this baggie until I figure out a way to, access that.
That would drive me crazy.
Yeah. right now, I can't do a thing about it. He's going to be broken until I figure out a way to access that port. So let's see here. And this would be Derek, I'm assuming. Bomb Nikki's camera ACP. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, he's got his phone right here. Not like
He
he's
has
left the room.
There you go.
Do.
It's alive. It's alive.
He's been asleep since. Well, it's 9:30 Eastern Standard Time here. He's actually been asleep since like 5:30.
Yeah, I did. I think
Yep.
yesterday.
So onward, some other news. We have seen Series 9 or Wave 9 Deluxe Transformers Studio Series images, including Shatter, which looks really good, Roadbuster, pretty cool, Off-Road Bumblebee, which is the Shatter Jet Mode Bumblebee movie thing. It's good, and they look cool. They look cool. I got it, but I'm still on the fence about that Sentinel Prime because I've never cared for the Sentinel Prime character. But I do like that yellow Jeep Bumblebee, that Studio Series yellow Jeep Bumblebee. I saw that and I was like, wow, that looks pretty cool. I would love to have that. So what do you guys, have you guys seen those images yet?
I haven't.
You haven't? Well, what have you been doing? Cleaning house or something?
Mm-hmm.
You living in the woods or something? I mean, what, man?
I live in the pasture. We used to have cows around us, and now we just have corn.
Hey, corn's all right. That's I'm surrounded by corn, so trust me, I know. Duty calls. All right, welcome, Miss. Firebite says he loves your cat.
Oh,
We
I
need
love my
Swindlehead.
cats.
Masterbar said we need Swindlehead for that bee, and you know what? That would make a good Swindle. You're right. It would make a good Swindle. It would. But I like the look of it. I do. Both the alternate mode and the Jeep and the robot mode look pretty good. Roadbuster is based on the Revenge of the Fallen, I think, toy. I never picked any of the so-called movie wreckers up, so I have no idea. But the jet mode Shatter also looks pretty good. There's parts of it I think are kind of but it does look pretty good. Your guys' thoughts on it there, Nikki and Derek?
Do you have thoughts?
On what you're talking about?
Yeah.
No, on what you were talking about.
What was I talking about? Kitties? Living in the pasture with corn?
Yes. Neuro, welcome.
Oh, hey, Neuro. Bye, Master Far.
Oh, well, Master Far.
Later, Meshbar.
Somebody else is leaving.
So we're talking about the new wave of Studio Series figures there, Derek, autocorrect primer, and I saw images today of the next releases, such as the movie Bumblebee.
I'm gonna put him on because that way you can answer your question. I can't.
Okay, so I was saying, have you seen the images of the new Studio Series figures that are coming out? The new Jeep Bumblebee, which looks really good, by the way.
Yeah,
I really like it. Go ahead.
You got the Jeep Bumblebee. You've got the what was it? Cannot remember.
Roadbuster.
Yeah,
Roadbuster.
And then
Shatter.
Yep, Shatter. And then you have also number 61. It was Leonard Nimoy's character. For some reason,
Sentinel Prime. Sentinel Prime. I'm not. I never bought. The only one I ever bought of that character was a Cyberverse toy from the Dark of the Moon line, or Revenge of the Fallen line, or Dark of the Moon. Yeah, Dark of the Moon line, and it's the only one I ever bought. And because I'm not a big fan of the character, but I do regret not getting the leader class version. I do regret not picking that up.
Me too.
I should have. I should have picked it up because it's a really good figure, and I regret not picking it up now. Going to get the Studio Series Sentinel Prime, Roadbuster, and Jet Shatter, and the rest of the Constructicons. Nice. Hey, Steve, how goes it? But yeah, I do like the look of that Bumblebee Jeep. That would be a Studio Series figure I would want to own.
I would love. I'd actually love to see if they would just change the head sculpt and paint him green and just make it look like Hound.
Or as Mastwar said, give him Swindle's head, and there you go.
Perfect. Yeah, Swindle would be perfect.
Yeah, exactly. And I saw that again. I saw that Sentinel Prime. I'm like, I'm indifferent about Sentinel Prime. I'm indifferent about the movie records as well. So Roadbuster is as cool as it looked. If I get it, great. If I don't, no big loss on my part. So, it's one of those things. But I do want that movie Bumblebee Jeep. That would be a good one to have.
And the one thing I thought was interesting is the fact that it's like what Nikki said. When I started getting the Studio Series, she was like, "We don't get the Bayverse figures," and she was absolutely right. We didn't. But the articulation for this stuff, I mean, the Studio Series was actually the better quality than Hasbro's regular line, which was surprising. Yep. And after I got a couple of them, I was like, wow, these guys are really posable. These guys, when you transform them, they look like the vehicle they're supposed to look like. And with that, if you do that, you'll mess up the whole. Yeah, my computer's old. My computer's not like your computer. Yeah.
Hey, Dennis.
Hey, man.
Glad you could join us tonight.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. We can see you too. All right.
Yeah.
But also, I saw first in-hand images of the Ultra Class Rack and Ruin from Cyberverse, and man, oh man, do I want that toy!
I absolutely want it.
Hey, this from you, you, Dennis. You don't like Cyberverse, but
I like Rack and
Ruin.
There you go. Also want Clobber.
Clobber. That would be a good one too. But his alt mode, Rack and Ruin's alt mode looks pretty good. I got to tell you, for what it is, it looks pretty good. It's got like that shovel on the front of it. It's got like the two cannons coming off the side, not the actual turret. The actual turret looks like kind of like a truck. Truck cab was slapped onto a tank, or an armored car, and it looks pretty cool. It's got the flip out Energon armor like Clobber does. I'm not sure how I feel about that. But unless I actually get it in hand, but I really, really, really want that Rack and Ruin, because we have never had a proper Rack and Ruin figure in the Transformers toy lines since ever. This will be the first. This will be the first time ever, and I'm really looking forward to get my hands on it.
I find it interesting that it actually is noted as having a good range of motion for being one of those ultra class offerings, because a lot of them have been pretty lackluster, but he seemed to have had special love and care put into him, or they, and so his father had special love and care because she has more range, like a better range of motion, more what you would expect from like a Voyager-esque toy.
Yeah. Did
you know that her alt mode is actually a flying vehicle?
Yeah, but I saw a review on it. I think it was Theo. I watched Theo Adams. I watched his review of it, and I don't know what to call that alt mode. Is it a hovering tank? Is it a hovering jet? What is it? It's got little fins on it.
It does.
So it's sort of an homage, I guess, to the original, animated character. But
in some of the other language dubs, the character's still called Lugnut. They didn't change it to Clobber.
Oh, nice. That would be cool. So I don't know what to make of all the alt mode. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I don't know what to make of it. So it'd be one of those things where I'd get it in hand to get a better feel of how I like it, but just from images and other videos, I don't know what to make of it. I'm not saying I don't like it. I just don't know what to make of it. Yeah.
It's kind of like also, did you see a Masterpiece RC that they released the images for?
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of people are already complaining about her backpack. Well, I mean,
and her hands and her feet.
yeah,
Good.
I'm one of them.
Yes, Dennis is one of those people who talked about her
I
hands.
love the alt mode. I love the alt mode. I think it looks gorgeous. I think the robot mode is a hot trash disaster.
yeah. I've seen it. I'm going. Why did they not? You going to jump through? Okay. Wait a second. He's running through. No, I looked at it and I was like, maybe that's just going to be the prototype. Maybe there's going to be some.
Help.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah.
Sorry, babe. Going to be some changes when it finally gets released, but I was surprised by her articulation. If she's able to do that, the question is, will she be able to stand, or is she going to have something that's got to hold her up? That will be, yeah, because that's what.
Now, from what I understand, she does come with a stand, so maybe that is the case.
Then I'll have a problem with that, because you're paying for a masterpiece price for a masterpiece transformer, and she's got to have something to help her stand and help her get into posability. I have issues with that. I really do.
Now, on the flip side, though, I felt like Tigatron looked amazing. Like, I saw both of them, and I was like, I hardly believe that these come from the same company, because they seemed like such a different dichotomy. You had beautiful paint, beautiful styling, beautiful sculpting, beautiful everything on Tigatron. And RC, I looked at and I said, I get it. She's always going to have a backpack. It's just the nature of the beast. But I felt like this was a pretty bigger than usual backpack for some reason. I don't know what's up with the hands. It's like I said, it looks like all of her fingers got broken and then healed gnarly, like she has old lady witch hands.
Yeah.
The chest thing everybody knows. But the other thing that kills me is I don't like the face sculpt. It doesn't, like, everything is there, but it doesn't feel RC. It feels like a different robot cosplaying RC for Halloween.
Well, when I was looking at her, and Nikki had said when we were talking about it, when we saw the images, and she's like, "Is she going to be able to stand?" I said, "It doesn't look like it." We saw the backpack, and then we were like, "Is she a shell former?"
Well, I can't say, because we can't say we haven't seen the transformation. That's the problem. So we can't really say. None of us here can really say for certain. We can guess at it, and because we can guess at it, and certainly that's a possibility. Because between all of us, we've probably been transforming toys since the 80s. All right, so we generally can look at a toy and know it's going to do. But with the Masterpiece line, the way they engineered it, look. Whether you like the Hound or not, okay? Whether you care about the breakages or the breaking problems with that, the engineering on that toy is fantastic. And it came out of nowhere. Like the ability to hide his accessories within his legs and feet. I mean, come on. That is, other companies haven't been doing it. That's some awesome engineering. So who's to say how this RC is really going to go? We can guess at it, and certainly have good educated guesses about it. I don't think any one of us could argue that.
Right. The other thing with Hound is that, again, the issue I have, and I like Hound, and unless I find him cheaper, I won't ever get the Masterpiece Hound, just for this fact that the price tag on him and the Masterpiece price tags now are, to me, like comic books. You're pricing yourself out.
I agree. 100%. I agree. No argument there. None.
And I agree with you 100% when you say, well, they don't make Transformers for the American, they make it for the Japanese, and they should, absolutely. I mean, that's what kept Transformers alive for so long. But you are getting into a price point where, like, even for Nikki and I, we both love Transformers, and there's certain ones that we like to get and we save up for. But a Masterpiece Hound has become almost to the point that if that's a new price gap or price for them, then we won't ever get another Masterpiece for that reason.
It's a rabbit hole I never jumped down. And as time went on, I sometimes thought, well, maybe one day. But as I see two things, one, the price tag's going up, but two, like, I don't remember the last time that there was a release that didn't have a QC issue. The last one I remember being just hailed almost unanimously as flawless. The last one I can think of is Ultra Magnus, and that was MP22. We just had MP50 announced, and I feel like since then they've all, to varying degrees, got some sort of an issue. And when the prices were lower, you can almost, I guess, see it.
Well,
but when you look at something like, and again, I got to do it from a little bit of a different perspective than you guys. Like up here, like you look at MP Optimus, $599 plus tax up here. I mean, by the time you put taxes in, you're pushing on $650, and then
you know what?
you take him home, and his knee crumbles.
Yes, because
See,
I don't get how that's acceptable.
See, I wonder though, because the difference between that MP and the next batch, I wonder is because of they changed the manufacturing locations. Like they used to produce in one location, then they changed it, and I think that's the difference that we're experiencing now with the QC issues. Because originally, yes, the masterpiece figures were, I mean, MP01 is still a pretty solid toy. I mean, even after all these years, it's a pretty solid toy, okay? And then they started manufacturing outside, of their normal manufacturing area. And this is when we start seeing the QC issues. We start seeing the lackluster materials, the lackluster hardware. This is where we started seeing the problems. Is because they changed their manufacturing process and their location. So I think that's what it stems from. I'm not sure if that's completely accurate, but I would hazard to say that's a good guess.
Well, the problem with the Optimus Prime MP was the fact they did not explain it well in the instructions on how to transform the knees. And so when you came to that point, people are trying to figure out, wait a second, I'm supposed to do this, this, and this, and move this little piece. If I don't, my knees crumble. That's not just a PC, issue. That's a engineering issue.
It is. Yeah.
That should have been caught. I mean, me and NinjaBill, we love the Cyberverse line because we're both into gimmicks. We both love gimmicks. Larkin's Lair sent me, this guy right here.
Yeah.
And Bumblebee. Crazy thing is they came in today. Nikki said a FedEx driver showed up and was like, you got a box from Hasbro. And I was like, I didn't get anything from Hasbro. So, but I've been playing with these guys till I fell asleep on 5, and I've not found any problems with them.
Is that the deluxes?
Yeah, these are the deluxes.
Yeah.
Nice paint apps.
Very,
very nice. I hate the spider mode, the crab mode, but I can live with that. But this Bumblebee, when you transform him, there's no robot.
Yeah.
And you look at this guy, there's no gaps except for right here in his inner thigh.
That's exactly what Cyberverse always should have been. What you have in your hand is what that line is always should have been.
Oh yes.
Yeah, because the original Seekers were, I was terribly disappointed. The lack of articulation in those Warrior Class ones, the original Warrior Class Seekers, was a problem. Okay, They looked good. They were painted well.
Mm-hmm.
They looked good, but that's all they were looks.
Yeah.
Well,
that's all they were.
We are going to get Ramjet in the third line. I don't know if you've seen it.
I did not.
Well, I found one at our local Target. It was a legend size, but I went and looked, and they do have a deluxe line, one that's going to be coming out for the deluxe line. They're going to come out with a ultra class one. You're going to get a Shockwave Ultimate class, the really big ones. We're going to get that's going to be coming out. And I was looking at those, and I was like, now this is what it's supposed to be. And you will get Cyberverse vehicles. We'll get a Cybertronian version of Starscream, Optimus, Bumblebee. They look good.
Steve says in the chat, I watched Emigo's review of Grapple, and boy, did he have the waffling all over him. Even the G1 didn't have that much hollowness. That said, I think he's the sleeper of the line. I think every review I've seen 4 of them now, and every reviewer has said the same thing. It is a good toy. It is a good toy, and very, very representative of his G1 figure. Larkin had said it was missing some, paint apps and whatnot. And I'm here to tell you that is true, but Grapple never had a lot of detail to him in the first place. He had maybe 3 stickers on him total, the original G1. I had the G1 toy. He had maybe 3 stickers on him, okay, period. And he wasn't a lot of colors except for orange and black to begin with. That's it. That was Grapple in a nutshell. Inferno had much more detail and stickers on him than Grapple ever did. Well, as a matter of fact, if he had double the stickers.
And I'll just,
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you're right. And I want to chime in on that too. I saw I saw that early this morning. I saw his, and you have a choice. Do you want to have Grapple, or do you want to have Power of the Proms Inferno? Which one would you rather have? Because I see
I have Power of the Primes Inferno, but I want a Grapple, and I'd love to have an Inferno from that mold. It makes sense that they're going to give us an Inferno from that mold. Yeah. It really does. If they don't, I'll be surprised, but it makes sense if they would.
But it's beautiful. It's beautiful for the price of it. You're not being charged a leader class and it being a Voyager class. We're finally getting a Voyager class Grapple, and I love it. I still got mine on pre-order. I'm not going to take it off pre-order. I'm not going to get the Optimus Prime. I like my Voyager from the Cyberverse. That's doing fine for me. I just keep looking at that trailer and going, I don't see you adding another $25 to the toy. Especially since we don't get a roller with you.
So what do you think of Grapple that you've seen so far, Dennis? What's your take on it?
Honest, I've only seen one review. And that was Larkin's. And I was excited for Grapple from day one because I saw it and I said, oh, he does look like Grapple. And I think my Solar Storm Grapple will probably become my version of Holler for now.
Oh, nice.
And I like it. And my immediate thought was, okay, he's a bit smaller, which that's the way it's going. That's fine. But I do love the coloration. I think it's gorgeous. I would be very leery of the section. I did hear, before I saw Larkin's review, I did hear about the issue of the peg cracking.
Pegs in the leg? The peg in the leg?
And my first thought was, wouldn't the most logical thing to do be to maybe sand those down a little bit first? Now that we know that issue exists. I'm excited for it. I hope that either mine doesn't have the peg issue, just like I managed to avoid the Ironhide leg flap issue. I'm hoping mine either doesn't have the peg issue or that it's as simple as being able to sand the peg down a little bit so that it fits more comfortably in the slot for it. Because I've heard that if it doesn't fit in there, you can still do the conversion, but that the truck is a lot flimsier, wibbly wobbly, which would be unfortunate because I do think it looks beautiful. Do I think it's the sleeper hit? I don't know yet. I can't speak to it until I got it in hand. As for the Optimus, if I didn't have a trailer, I think I'd be all over the Earthrise. Because I do have a trailer, I don't feel the same draw to it, especially too since I've done the custom mods that I did on the Siege Voyager. Mm-hmm. I feel like, again, shout out to Larkin again, I saw his review and I feel like every single thing Larkin said is almost word for word what I would say about it as well. I think he
I agree. I
everything,
agree.
Every aspect, good and bad, I think he hit every aspect right on the nose.
Yeah.
The one from the line that has me almost baffled is Starscream.
I'm glad you brought that up.
I'm glad you brought that up too.
Everybody is tripping over themselves for Starscream, and functionally, he's not as good as the Siege. Functionally, he's not. I mean, right away, he doesn't have wrist rotation. He doesn't have waist rotation. So functionally,
doesn't have a double jointed elbow.
It doesn't have a double jointed elbow. I don't like the hollow toes. I get it. I understand that everybody considers the classics to be kind of the standard bearer for that G1 representation. And I understand that the jet alt mode is fantastic. But when it comes to accuracy to the animation and when it comes to overall look, in the robot mode, I feel like the Siege wins hands down. Alt mode, yes, the Earthrise wins.
Yep.
But
first
robot
watched.
mode, I feel like the Siege wins. I don't
got-
know if I'm out to lunch, but I feel like that the new Starscream already feels outdated.
Well,
It feels
yeah.
like old engineering.
Oh yeah, and the tab in his jet, the wings, when he finally gets into that, everybody I've seen so far is showing where you try to get that tab, it's popping the wing off.
Yeah.
Well,
Popping the wing off, and I don't like that chest, those two chest tabs either.
Yes, exactly.
Now, see, I haven't watched Larkin's review. The first Starscream review I watched was from a fellow YouTuber, VGamer11. If you don't know who she is, she's been gone for a while. She hasn't been posted many videos in 6-7 months now, but she posted her first review today. She posted 2 of them. Her first one was the Earthrise Starscream. That's the first review I saw of that Starscream. She had only one real issue with it, which is that wing popping off. It tabbed in well, but the wing popped off when she went to transform it. Everything else tabbed in. The jet mode looked great. The robot mode looked great, but the Siege one just outweighs it, I think.
How often do you think you can pop off that wing before the plastic peg that it's over is going to get stressed and break off?
Yeah, that'd be my
I keep thinking, I see the wing come off, and I tell you what I think of. I think back to the Combiner Wars Dead End mold, and you know the little tailpipe, and that rotates around for car mode or robot mode. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I'm right there with you.
On my Dead End, very recently actually, I was fiddling with it, and now 5 years later, I actually broke off the tab that what do you call it? The tailpipe goes around. And it was like 2 plastic pieces. Now I built a new tab up. I used some Bondic and built a new tab. But when I saw the wing pop off of this Starscream, I said, you know what? That peg is the same sort of peg that was used on that piece. And I know it took 5 years, but it still broke off. I look at this on Starscream and I think, how many times can you push that wing off before this stresses and breaks? And once that breaks, that's it. Like, it's no fixing it. It's broken.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know. That sort of stuff concerns me.
And it doesn't look like it's needed. That's the thing with the transformation. It doesn't look like it's even needed to have that peg at all.
No,
yeah,
you're right.
Because much like the classics ones, it just folds up on that double joint.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's exactly what it does. Just like the classics version, it folds back around on that double joint. That post there is unneeded. And I completely agree with you on that. It looks unneeded. It really does. You don't have to turn the wing. You can if you want to, but you can just swing it up on that joint.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering though, I think it's there to hold the wing in place, because when I first watched her review of it, I kept thinking to myself, well, what if you just saw that darn thing off?
Yeah, I did too.
But then I got to thinking of it after she transformed it, and I was looking at it from the side view that she showed a little bit. I kept thinking to myself, I'm wondering if that's just to hold the wing on, period, because it's not held on by the joint. I'm wondering if it's held on by that peg.
Yeah, and that.
I don't know.
I showed it to my brother. My brother's like deluxe. He loves Starscream. He's got in his office at the courthouse his little shrine to Starscream. And I was like, and I know he's going to get it, and he'll let me review it. But I even asked him. I said, take a look at this review with this. And so he got back with me. He's like, but there's no waist rotation. There's no the articulation is as if we're taking a step back, where we get this Voyager class, this jet comes out by the Siege, and it looks like they're stepping away from the great quality that they gave us. He says, I'm going to get it. What's that?
It's funny you mentioned that, because I've been saying for the last year, and I done it when I done the whole was Siege worth it video. And I said, you know what? There were a lot more wins than losses. However, I see different trends here that I don't like.
They're going backwards.
we're going backwards. But here's the thing. They upped the price here substantially, more than they did down there even, but they upped the price and they gave us a big hike. And then everybody said, oh, but these are so much better. And in the beginning, I'll admit there were certain things that were done better, more care. But I feel like even as the Siege line went on, once again, you started to see some waffles. Once again, you started to see some hollow. And Earthrise is great, but I don't remember ever seeing any figure as hollow as Hoist. Ever. Every single thing they could hollow out on him is hollow.
And that's saddening for me because I'm
and Cyberverse, the Seekers that I talked about, yeah, they were worse.
And yeah, but again, a Cyberverse Seeker, like I'll have to use my prices, so I'm sorry, but like a Cyberverse Seeker went for $19.99. A Impactor went for, and I mean Impactor weighs more. I get it. Like I actually said he was innocent, but you are seeing the hollow again. He went for $30 plus tax here, $35. And I said, okay, you know what? Like I get that they go up, but this was more than was needed. And I said, how long do you think it's going to last now before they're going to start making like cheap cuts again? Because everybody said, they use so much more. I said they did not use so much more. What they did is they gave us hinge and swivel joints instead of ball joints. How long do you think it's going to be before they went to cost cut again and we go back to ball joints? Except now we're used to paying this much for them. Well, and you're seeing it even already with Starscream. They're already skimping out, eliminating the wrist rotation and a waist swivel. And guess what? They're not cutting the price back any. I'm just saying, I'm concerned that we're seeing them give us a big price increase, then give us better quality, and then erode on that quality.
Well, it's like,
and people are going to be blinded to it, I think.
Well, TF Angie, because he knows I'm a big hoist. I love hoist. I got my G1 hoist. I've always it's the one I always try and find. And it's one of the characters that doesn't get much love. But he pointed out to me, he's like, you do know that the cab and all the front portions of him is clear plastic.
Yeah,
and that's just paint that's for his chest. And he says, and that's cheaper. He says it's cheaper for them to do clear plastic than it is to do the, And I looked it up and I was like, oh, it's just not there. His inside his cab, the whole, not only the hollowness, but there's more paint covering this translucent plastic, which worries me because I know translucent plastic does not last that long, which means I'll probably end up getting that hoist and he will go up on my table. And that's not a transformer to me. A transformer is where I can go pick it up. And if I'm stressed out, I transform it. I get calm back down. I'm good. And I've been extremely excited for that hoist. And now I'm looking going, I don't know how I feel about it. I don't want to say anything till I get it.
I want it. I still want it. I still want it. I still want it because I don't have a hoist in my collection.
But I'm aware of what it is I'm buying. Like here's the thing. Like I look at because like I'm a pretty harsh dude. Like I'm sure I offend a lot of people. And like I've said stuff over the last year that has been somewhat controversial about like prices and being suckers. And I'll even admit myself. People will say like that's insulting and say, no, it's not. Like I look at myself with, for example, Siege Shockwave. I love them. I love Siege Shockwave. Probably the last Shockwave I'll ever get. But I'm under no delusions that I was a sucker and I paid a sucker price because I wanted him that bad. And I feel like too many of us for too long have been making that justification. And I think we've reached a point where, man, it's time for us to start holding the people that provide these products to us accountable. Like, I'm with you. I want that hoist. But I'm not under any delusion that I might have to have kid gloves with it because of things like the translucent, because of the fact that it's hollow. And I feel like if you're going to erode on quality, maybe you shouldn't do it that quick yet.
Right.
You see, what we were paying for in the Siege line, I hate to interrupt, but what we were paying for in the Siege line was part counts. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what we were paying for in the Siege line. That's what we will probably still be paying for in the Earthrise line. Not so much the paint or the details. Obviously, there will be molded details, but we're paying for parts count. Now, that Starscream is a good example where I don't think the parts count is on the same level as Siege line toys. We can see it there.
Even something simple as the back of the leg of the Siege Starscream, the spring-loaded back of the leg.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was like, that's a nice touch.
Yeah.
I bet you that this one does not have a spring load at the back of his leg so you can get that deeper knee bend.
No, I
I
didn't
bet
see
you-
that one in the review I saw. I did not see that.
Right?
Okay, so Combiner Wars, the legs is the Combiner Wars legs. You know, when I say Combiner Wars, it folds out. Okay, so you pop it open, you fold it out, you lock it back in, but there's no spring in there that I saw. I mean, you can see pretty clearly inside there in V Gamer 11's review of it, inside that empty space there when she folds the leg out, because that whole space is taken up by the thigh of the robot. So
Oh, yeah.
there's no spring in there that I saw. I could be wrong. Maybe there was a tiny one in there, but I sure don't think so.
I don't think so either. But see,
And the missing double elbow. I mean, even the you know the Siege one had a double jointed elbow, wrist, waist, ankle pivot. It's just tilt really, rocker, but not pivot. Well, Ken did have a tilt, going down if you folded it up, but yeah. So still, I guess that counted. But I don't know that I need him. I don't know that I need another classic Starscream in my collection, because I have Star Classics on my shelf now.
I think that if you're new, then I see the appeal more. But for those of us who have been around for however long, I feel like a lot more of us are questioning, who is it that we need? Who is it we need to upgrade? Because not only because of the prices, but I think because of how often, like, how many Starscreams do we need? Honestly, how many do we need?
How many primes do we need?
But here's exactly. And I get it; they always sell, but like it always gets to a point too where to keep the long-term fan, you really got to give them something fresh. And I don't need a dozen more primes or Starscreams or Megatrons or like, give me the Omnibots.
Yeah.
But Hasbro knows they'll sell, Dennis.
See,
they know they'll sell. They know they can put out a Bumblebee, and they'll sell formers, absolutely, but they'll sell. They know they put out a Prime, it'll sell. They know they put out a Megatron, it'll sell, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, that's money in the bank for them. That's money in the bank. That's easy money. Well, and they're going to stick with it.
Well, and to get that, also what you were saying, Dennis, is that you said, well, ball joints. They'll put ball joints back in. They'll put, this guy here, all ball joints.
Yeah.
Yes, great articulation. He has a waist rotation, and I even said when I saw the Starscream, I was like, wait a second, they're giving us this as a deluxe, like it should have always been. This is what we're familiar with. You go back to any line before Cyberverse, even Robots in Disguise, the last line, there was always articulation. It was always in the warrior class, and right then and there. And if ball joints is the way they're going to go, then they're going to have to go to this price point for this one.
What price point is that there?
Nikki, how much did you say you looked up? This was 19?
Yeah.
19.
I was going to say, here they, just like the Siege Deluxes, are $29.99. And right away, you're seeing ball joints there instead of hinge and swivel.
Yes. Exactly.
Right?
And that's what I looked at. I was like, I understand why they do that as a cost cut. Sure. But at the same time, make sure you're giving us the price point to match it, because here's what they're going to run into. And a lot of people I've said this to in the comic book community is I said, what are you looking forward to this year? And a lot of them said, man, the Siege line was just magnificent. I'm looking forward to the G.I. Joe that's going to be coming out 6-inch figures, and we're going to get He-Man.
Yeah.
And the price for He-Man is going to be $10 for a 5.5-inch figure.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. And
Hasbro is going to make big waves when they do that. When that releases, they're going to make big waves.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
agreed.
And here's the thing. I think it needs to make big waves. I think it needs to sit there and tell, say, wait a second. Hasbro, I love you. I will always support you. I'm like Deluxe Ball and hell Hasbro. But the problem is that you're getting into a point where third party, if you go that way, their prices, and you're like, okay. And then you get Hasbro and you're like, wait a second. Why are your prices going up, yet the quality of your characters are and your figures are going down?
Yeah.
And I was hoping, with the Siege line, that this was okay. This is going to be our new standard, and from this point here, we're going to make the figures as at least as good as this or better. But you get Impactor, and his legs were completely hollow. You've got Hoist that's going to come out completely hollow. You take a look at a lot of the other figures, and either you got parts for me, which Nikki totally despises. I had to convince her to let me order Cliff Jumper, because she's like, wait a second, wait. She says, we got this Cliff Jumper, and why do I want you to take his backpack off? You're going to lose it within a month. I know you got man hands. This sometimes is a little bit hard on them. And she's like, and then you set something down, and the cat will get it, and you'll be like, I don't know where it went, and she, Ziploc, she has Ziplocs for me with things written on them.
His ears must have been ringing, because we were talking about you that very thing. Your ears must have been ringing in your sleep, buddy.
Man.
I'm telling you what.
I find it's funny. I find that a lot of the conversation I'm hearing is same thing. People are pointing out these multiple things that they're interested in, and here's what I'm getting. People are saying, I'm going to cherry pick Earthrise. I don't need it all for those prices. I'm going to look at what it is I want and need the most, which I get. And some people are saying, I'm going to wait till stuff is on sale, which I get. I understand. But it wasn't that long ago when most people said, I don't care, I'm getting the whole line anyway. That's not what you're getting now.
Mm-mm.
See, for me, I would like to have certain figures from, I don't want all of them. I want a Hoist. I want a Grapple. I want an Ironworks to go with my Iron Tread, okay? We've got Iron Tread. And Ironworks it was originally who he was in the first place. So, you got to have that one to go along with him. Okay. And, I don't need another Starscream. I don't. Now, Transaran 38 mentioned the cone heads. We are getting cone heads in the Earthrise line. We are. We've already seen images.
Well, you're going to get them you're going to get them Earthrise, and you're going to get them in Cyberverse.
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yep. I forgot about that. You were right. So we are going to get cone heads there, Transaran 38. But I really only want a certain set, because I have most of the other G1 bot lineup, okay? I'm missing a Hoist. I'm missing a Grapple. I like my Power of the Primes Inferno, but I would rather have a more G1-like alt mode and bot mode, okay? So I would like to have an Inferno if it comes out. I'm almost positive that we will see one. If we don't, I'll be shocked. I don't know about you guys, but I'll be shocked.
No, we'll see one.
I'd like to have a better Jazz than what we got in the Power of the Primes line, because, oh my God, I hated that thing. It's a nice mold, okay? Don't get me wrong. It's a nice mold, but it just does not feel like Jazz. Say again?
I said, I got a Ricochet.
Well, see, I didn't pick up Ricochet. I don't care about the Ricochet character, so I don't feel I missed out on that one.
Neither did I, but I like them all.
Yeah. So, the alt mode looks good, okay? And the robot mode, I feel is underwhelming. Because of when you look in comparison to the Generations Jazz and the Power of the Primes Jazz, which one wins over easily? The Generations version.
Yes.
Easily.
Well, that's just it. If you had the RTS Jazz, I asked you, do we really need another Jazz?
Yeah, you did in your video.
Yeah, I mean,
see,
and Nikki was just saying this. She was like, "Well, it's kind of like what we've talked about, with the price point and everything." She's like, "For the first time, we've been married for 20 years, and we've always got Transformers, and we try to get as close to all the line that we can possibly get." But even she said, "Take a look at who I said I want out of Earthrise already, and take a look at who you want out of Earthrise already, and we're still not getting every single one."
Yeah.
Because, be honest, that's
like Scorponok. Like, he's going to be my Titan Swan song. Like, I'm going to get Scorponok because I have Metroplex and Triptychon. I have an Omega, even though mine's the Ultimate Guard, and I have Devastator. I have for Max, I want Scorponaut. Once that's done, I don't care what they put out. Because here now a Titan is $249.99. It's too much. It's too much every year for something that's a collectible.
And Nikki said right that she was like, and where she's wanting Skylinks. I mean, and that's what she's like. My money is going to go.
Yeah, Skylinks would be good.
Yeah, and she's like, she says, I'm trimming the fat. I'm not going to get as many Earthrise figures because my goal is to get a Skylinks like that so it can stand next to my other chicken, the G1 that I have, and I totally agreed with her.
Lucky me. I wish I had the G1 Skylinks. I love the Combiner Wars one that Adamantium Matrix sent me. I love it. Okay, absolutely love it. But I want a Commander class. That's the only, like I said, I only want maybe 6-7 bots from the Earthrise line, and that's one of them. I think I'd love to have Astro Train. I've yet to even run across, even breathe nasally inhale an Astro Train.
Well, I'm telling you now, and you can get mad at me all you want, whatever. Do not pay full price for that Astro Train.
My family actually ordered it from Amazon back at Christmas as a Christmas gift for me, and it still hasn't come in yet.
Oh wow!
I mean, I got it, and it's still actually next to my bed, next to the Titan, my custom Titans Return one, and I don't know which one I'm going to actually keep for my thing. I do like the build and whatnot. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the Siege one, but when I see him next to the rest of my collection, when I realized that he weighs 290 grams, not 325, like other leaders, I look and and when I consider that even of that 290 grams, like you got that stupid backpack, that is a waste of plastic as far as I'm concerned. And those idiotic shoes, and he needs them just to be close to as tall as the rest of the collection. Otherwise, he seems he seems like he doesn't fit in with anything. He seems too small. He looks nice. He's way too small. And every time I look at him, I have buyer's remorse. And I did not pay full price for him. I'm not happy with him. I see him and I'm like, he's excellent, but I get no joy from him. I look at him and all I have is regret for the fact that I spent $55 on him.
I have a Generations version, and I've never been happy with it. I've never been happy with the Generations version. I don't like his shuttle. Yeah, well, there's only one Generations, and that's the classics Hank one. Okay. So I've never been happy with his size. I've never been happy with his shuttle, and personally, I think the train was a disaster.
It was. Yeah, it was.
And so, I've never been happy with it. I have him sitting on a shelf right now. He sits back there alone in the dark and where I think he ought to be, because I've never been happy with that figure. Never. So I'm looking forward to the Siege. Well, now it's Earthrise. I haven't spotted any.
I would like that mold done as a dirty KO.
Now, is he? Now, I'm not sure. Is he comparable to the Generations version, Dennis?
The Siege one. It's way better than the Generations version, but again, it's a matter of the value proposition. Here's the thing: if the Siege one, it doesn't even need to really be the size of a traditional leader. If the Siege one was just the size of the Titans Return one, with the mass of the Siege one, like if it was that density and that mass, but at the same height as the Titans Return one, hands down, I would say the Siege one wins. But what you give up in size, and the fact that when you look at him on the shelf next to the rest of your characters, I think he's going to look at a place and look out. I think you're going to look at him and say, he's beautiful, but he's still too small. I think that if you're like me, it's going to eat at you. That being said, take that with a grain of salt, because I'm also the weirdo that's looking at Earthrise Optimus Prime and saying, I can't get it past his dark gray 4R biceps because it's driving me nuts. So what do I know?
Now, see, I do want the Earthrise Prime. If I luck out and find it and get it, I'm going to be happy with him, honestly, because I want a trailer. I want a trailer more than anything. I can customize that trailer. I can paint it up. You and me both, Dennis. And hopefully someday, Derek, you get into customs as well. And from what I Nikki was saying earlier, maybe. But I can make that trailer pop. I don't need to buy stickers or anything for it. I have the paints. I have the skills. I can make that trailer pop. All right. And so the Earthrise Prime, I do want simply for the trailer. It's the same reason that I got the Cyberverse Battle Base Prime, okay? Because of that trailer. The Warrior Class Optimus Prime in the Cyberverse line is crap. It's crap. Now, given ACP enjoys it, and that's great, and I respect that. I hate it, but I love that Battle Base trailer because it's awesome.
Yeah.
And the same reason I want that Earthrise trailer, because it looks cool with what you can do with it. It just doesn't pop. And Larkin nailed it. You know, he was really critical on the details of the paint, you know, and the colors and whatnot. I think he was super critical, but at the same time, he was absolutely right. He was absolutely right. He was yes, he was overly critical, but he was right. There's no denying he was. Even Dennis said it. He nailed it.
Listen, I gotta head out. But
All right.
before I go,
by the way, I should mention that the Rejecticons are live right now. So if you guys want to join that, feel free to join that. I'll probably be cutting it off here shortly myself. Go ahead, Dennis.
I just want to say I do have to go because I'm in the middle of something else as well. And I've been here now with you guys for a little while. But I do want to throw out there, because it was a topic that you and I, Bill, had talked about, the Magnabos lad. Just a couple of kind of quick, I guess, notes. The Ironhide, I am surprised by his range of motion in robot mode. The transformation is fairly easy, even though it looks like it would be more cumbersome. And I love his alt mode.
Now,
when it comes to the Lion Lad, love the alt mode, love the transformation, love the robot mode. I love that guy top to bottom. And our Eagle Boy scares the hell out of me because of the GPS. But here's the thing, and here's kind of where I want your input a little bit before we go off here. I have yet to combine them into Magnabots. Haven't done it. My question actually is this: how hard is it to actually connect 3 pieces?
Okay, so you're going to find difficulty. Now, the transformation for Ironhide is going to be fiddly. Really fiddly. Okay? Be aware of that. Now, Prowl is going to be easy, really easy to get into his combined mode. So will I forget what they call Silverbolt. Yeah, so Silverbolt will be fairly easy. Just be aware once again of that brown plastic.
Yeah.
It's pretty much just fold up the legs into the tail, pull the body around and fold them up, and then move the wings into a, you know, sort of a forward position, and then he will lock in to Ironhide, or Ironhide will rather lock into those wings, and Prowl will sit in between them.
Okay.
And so it's going to be fiddly. That's my warning to you. It's going to be fiddly. I can probably help you that. I could probably get with you, you know, a later date before your review time and help you with that transformation, show you how it's done. You know, you and me can get on a private chat and Facebook video, and we can transform it together and show you how that works. Probably because you didn't get instructions, I'm assuming.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, so I can help walk you through that. So I would be happy to.
And I don't know if you saw in chat, Input and TFN equals that, they could jump in.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Let me throw the link out there. I'm sorry about that. I wasn't paying attention to the chat at the moment. There you go. Boom.
Well, you know what? With Input and the TFN coming in, I'm going to let you guys kind of continue on. I'm going to get back to what it was I was doing.
Okay.
But my last question to you, Bill, is this: once it's together, as fiddly as it is, once it's together, how solid is he once he's together?
Pretty solid.
Is he?
Oh yeah, he's pretty solid. If everything locks in, if you got everything locked in correctly, because I think there's like actually like 8 points you need to connect him. There's actually like 8 points, but those 8 points they seem like nothing. I think it's 6 points, but they seem like they're nothing. But he does hold together pretty solidly.
Okay. All right. Well, you and I will catch up again. Guys, everybody in the chat, I hope you have a great night. People coming in, input, hey, buddy. TF Fangeek, hey, buddy. I don't mean to be rushing out, but I will be talking to you guys again soon, I am sure. Have a great night.
Awesome, man.
Awesome. Later, Dennis. Thank you for joining.
Yeah.
Yep. So his Magnaboss, I'm looking forward to his review of that because I loved Magnaboss. I still love it. It's a great toy. Do you own Magnaboss ACP?
No, I do not.
You're missing out, buddy. You're missing out, and you need to find what the hell do they call him? I forget the American name. I remember the Japanese name, but no, you need to find the Predaconus or whatever the hell they called him in the American line, and the other combiner, which is cool, but it's more fragile than even Predacus. Yep, Predacus. Yep. But he's more fragile than Magnaboss is, even more fragile than Silverbolt is in some ways. And that's talk about a fiddly combination. Wow. I mean, wow. Predacus is so fiddly. The robot modes by themselves, the 3 robot modes and their alt modes, pretty solid. But that combination mode, once it's all together, it's pretty solid, but still fiddly as all get out. Oh man, I hated combining him. Hated it. I combined him once and never took him out of the combination again. Never. I was just like, nope, I'm done. Because it's fiddly as hell, especially Cicada Con or whatever they call it, Ramhorn, I think is what they called him. Man, is he fiddly to transform for his combination. Oh man, is he fiddly.
I have Rim, but I don't have the other.
Well, good evening, everyone.
Hey, TFN Geek. Hey, and welcome TFN Geek and welcome Input. Sorry about that. Sorry for the late introduction and welcome. Welcome to the show. And so what is new? And I'll go around with you and starting with ACP and Nikki.
What's new? These guys right here. This is what I got from Larkin's Lair. And they came in today on a Sunday, which we were surprised when the FedEx guy showed up and was like, here's a box from Hasbro, and I opened them up. I've been playing with them till I fell asleep around 5, but I actually like them. I didn't have the stress parts that you had input on the Shockwave.
Okay.
I don't know if that is because maybe each figure differs, but this thing here is just completely stiff. I mean,
yeah. Mine's like super stiff too.
Okay. I like them. I actually do like them. I'm surprised by the paint apps. Yes, they do have ball joints, but and this one is also, if you do take a light, and I don't have a flashlight in here, this is a little bit see-through where you can see through it when you do a light. But overall, I really enjoy it. I actually got to be honest. I'm actually enjoying this guy here better than I do my Siege Shockwave. And it's not because he's in a crowd mode. It's just the fact that he just looks.
It's a good looking toy.
It really is. So that's what's new with me. It's sleeping apparently all day because I was with family yesterday. And I finally did get to finish watching y'all's Tales from Teletron. Great conversation. The ending, yeah, I love when the thing went off the rails, but hey, it was awesome. I laughed so hard.
Honest, it wasn't my fault. Honest, it wasn't my fault this time.
It kind of was.
I was like, NinjaBill has to be my spot from now on. I was like, that is awesome.
It wasn't my fault.
It was.
I said something I probably should have phrased differently. So yes, I can take responsibility for that. But it went off the rails. Really at fault, am I? Damn.
You're the only one I've ever seen that got a triple R where he just could not say anything. I mean, it was like he's getting ready to say what he's going to say, and it was like, boom, he just couldn't. It was in. That was in. I was like, wow. Yeah, that was. I was like, whoa.
Hey, break Triple R, break TFN Geek. It's a new record.
I mean, I didn't think I'd break Triple R with a vibrating joke, but hey, I guess it happened. So I mean,
there you go. Next round goes to Tia Fan Geek. So what's new with you?
Well, to quote what you said a few seconds ago, Ninja Bill 1000 about, being derailed. Astro Train derailed yesterday, and he gave me a little scratch on my wrist. I'm just kidding. That was a joke, guys. I scratched myself on something else.
There you go. So besides Astro Train,
yeah. So as far as stuff that's new, I just a few hours ago I ordered a Transformers figure from Amazon.com. It's from this Transformers line, but I'm not saying which one it is.
Okie dokie.
But I will say this.
He's got a trailer.
What?
He's got a trailer.
What are you talking about?
Go ahead. You were saying what it was. I was just guessing. You were going to.
Does he scream at the stars?
No.
Does he yell at the sky?
He yells at the sky when there's an enemy flying towards him. Wait, we gotta get away. Oops. Okay, why don't you guys all guess? Just say one name, and if you're correct, I'll tell you.
Grapple.
Okay, Ninja Bill says grapple. Input.
Starscream. That's my guess.
Okay, autocorrect primer. Your guess.
Prime.
And the winner is autocorrect primer. So guys, you're not going to believe what happened. Back in January, Amazon canceled my pre-order of Optimus Prime, and so I went to that archived spot on my Amazon Prime account, and I clicked the button that says buy it again, and there was a scalper offering Optimus Prime, even though Amazon locked his product detail page, so I was able to basically have a back door to buy Optimus Prime from Amazon, even though he's technically not available right now.
Nice.
So I did pay more than retail price for Optimus Prime. I admit I paid more than he's worth, but if all works out, I hopefully will not regret doing that. Because the only people selling Optimus Prime on Amazon are scalpers, and I purchased the last copy of the cheapest one that was going for it, and so if anyone is in the same situation I am, where you tried to order Earthrise Optimus Prime from Amazon and they canceled your order, if you go in your Amazon Prime account to your orders and you click the tab that says canceled orders, if you scroll down and find Earthrise Optimus Prime on the list, and you click the button that says buy it again, you should see a scalper selling Optimus Prime right now if you don't want to wait for him to be released on March 31st.
Transaren 38 said he'd ordered Starscream and Grapple from Amazon. Should be here this week.
Really? Mine still say they're pre-ordered until March 31st. So
yeah, mine said the same thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, when did you Transaren? When did you place that order? Just out of curiosity.
So while he types his answer,
I was waiting for the answer. I was like, I don't know why. My brain was like, okay, I gotta be quiet. He's gonna say something.
Yeah. Okay. He says I was lucky to order the last two from Amazon. Yeah, but that's not when. When did you order it?
Well, let me check really fast when I ordered mine. Let me see. Come on. My laptop is so slow. It's moving at a snail's pace. Okay, so I ordered my copies of Starscream and Grapple back in October 3rd, and it still says that they won't arrive until April 2nd because they're being shipped out on March 31st.
No, we're not asking you, Transcend 38. He says would be next week after, I think. We're asking you, when did you first order them, not when you're going to receive them. So input while he's answering, what's new with you?
Well, today I was able to grab Earthrise Astro Train. I gotta say, man, this guy honestly blows me away. Worth every $54.11 I spent on this sucker, dude.
I hate you right now because I'm still waiting on my cyber asteroid train from Amazon.
Well, you know what? I was gonna be nice and go out tomorrow and see if I could find you one, and then you could just send me the siege one or whatever. But since you're gonna be all mean about it, then I don't want to do nothing. How about that? Okay.
Don't worry, Autocritic Primer. I know how you feel. I just need one more figure to complete the siege line. Then I'll be done with siege. I only need one more to be done with siege. Wow. I need the battle master named Singe, because he's one of the battle masters that is meant to be partnered with Spinister. So that's why I'm desperate to find him. And I actually got Singe's wave mate, Battlemaster Rung. I got him as a gift from one of my subscribers, Ibers. So that's why I have Rung. So I only need Singe to complete the siege line.
Yeah, I was looking up while you were talking there, TFN Geek. I ordered mine back in October 6th. And so it's saying March 31st is when it's going to be shipped out for me. So.
Yeah.
Well,
Pack says, "Where your face input?"
Well, here's the thing. Like right now, I'm trying to show love to everyone in the community. So if I showed my face, you guys would see me switching between tabs because I'm in Kato's chat and I'm live with NinjaBill. So I'm trying to spread the love as best I can.
There you go.
I'm trying to spread as much Nutella all over this place as much as I can.
There you go. See, Transarian 38 said, still waiting for my Siege Astro Train 2 and Omega Supreme. Okay, but never did answer our question there, Transarian 38. That's okay. Pack said, show yourself. Show yourself, ooh.
Hack and I are going to do a live stream this Wednesday at 6 o'clock.
Nice.
Oh, awesome.
Nice.
I'll have to write that down so I can remember it. Or, you guys can just set a reminder for everybody to click on. That would be much easier. Thank you.
Pack, I just want you to know, man, I can't show my face because if I did, then NinjaBill would be outnumbered, and that's not fair to NinjaBill.
There you go.
I'd be more than happy to show you guys my real face, but my real face would make you die of fright.
So I'll go back over the news. So since TFN Geek and Input is joining the stream, I'll go back over the news. First, there are in-hand images of the Ultra Class Rack and Ruin. Wow, he looks pretty good.
Oh, I saw that the other day. That's what I posted photos on Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I'm happy with that he's coming out. With I think that's the Ultra Class, wasn't it? TFN Geek.
Yeah.
Ultra Class. Yep. Ultra Class Rack and Ruin. Oh, he said he ordered. Transaren said he ordered last Thursday.
Oh, okay.
And that's how he got the 2 Earthrise figures.
Nice.
Last Thursday. So okay. Well, it looks like he got the last 2 and he ordered them last Thursday. But so I saw the Rack and Ruin. He looks pretty good in his robot and his alt mode. I dig that alt mode. Okay, it looks like they slapped the top of a truck onto that of an armored car, shoved 2 cannons on the side of it, and said good. And I'm digging it. I'm digging that shovel on the front of it. I'm digging his space skulls. Okay, I know some people are kind of like, but no, I dig them. I love the grins they have. They're opposite each other. One has sort of the monocle on his eye.
Uh-huh.
I'm digging it.
One eye's bigger than the other.
Yeah, I like the colors. The people are talking about the waffling, obviously, blah blah blah. Could care less. It's a Rack and Ruin figure, an official Rack and Ruin figure from Hasbro, and I need it in my life.
Rack and Ruin figure.
Yes. Other news: Hasbro is looking for graphic designers for 5 different platforms or franchises. They are, of course, the Transformers, the G.I. Joe, the My Little Pony. I forget the other one.
Nerf.
I can't remember.
Mask.
No. It was poop. Let me find it again here. I just had it.
I've never heard of that toy line. Oh, poop. Sounds crappy to me.
Is that on the Hasbro's?
Yes, if you go to Hasbro's site, it says they're looking for a graphics artist. The The position reports to the art director, will be responsible for working with the team on the review and development of books, magazines, comics, and other publishing formats. And it is for the 5 franchises of Transformers, My Little Pony, Power Rangers, Clue, and G.I. Joe.
Clue. That's an odd one.
Yes. Who knows? Who knows? I saw initial images for Studio Series. Bumblebee looks fantastic. The Jeep mode one looks great. I dig it. I want it. I'm not sure about the Sentinel Prime though. I never did pick one of those up, but hey, and they're just initial images for that Sentinel Prime, by the way. It's just shown in the front of the box. That's all that's been leaked. More than that, I don't know. But the other 4 Studio Series, the Bumblebee, the Jeep Bumblebee, the Shatter in her jet mode, the one of the movie wreckers, I forget which one it is. I can't remember. But not important. I really didn't care about the characters anyway. So they all look pretty good, but that Jeep Bumblebee, and earlier, Maspar, when he was in here, he said something really cool. You could easily make a swindle out of that. Put a head of swindle on top of that Jeep Bumblebee. Boom, done. And ACP here said, well, you could make a hound of it out of it too. And he's right. It looks like a great alt mode.
Oh, yeah. I do have him already pre-ordered. I did pre-order that one because I was like, I love the Jeep mode. I love what it looked like. And, it kind of, gives Bumblebee another alt mode, so you could show from the different movies that he has had different from a Camaro to a Jeep to now the Volkswagen.
Mm-hmm.
I just want I don't even know. Like, in all honesty, I wish the Studio Series would stop getting in stores so we can actually get the stuff that I care about and not the Studio Series stuff.
That's all I run into is Studio Series stuff. Not newer ones, older ones. That's all I run into. Finally, I literally found, I couldn't find Cogman to save my life. ACP sent me one. And I'm like, fantastic. You know what? Now he's all over my store.
Well, yesterday I went to my local Target store to find Earthrise Optimus Prime, and I was bummed. The only Transformers figures they had were Studio Series Dark of the Moon Soundwave and Studio Series Hot Rod. So I was really bummed. I left myself.
Pack is asking if I'm getting confused. I guess because I'm in the 2 streams and probably just a little bit, but
divided attentions much.
Yeah, like I said, I'm trying to tell all over the place, man. So
Emperor, don't tell me you're suffering counter punch syndrome.
Oh, yeah. My Accept-a-Bot is transforming into a Rejecticon, so I can go.
So, 2 other bits of news. There have been listings for the Quintesson Alicon WFC E19 and the
RC.
The Earthrise and the Earthrise RC. Yeah. So pretty cool. I really, really want that RC. I really, really want that RC. Almost as much as I want Rack and Ruin. Almost.
I hope you see Earthrise RC along with Skylink, Scorponok, Snapdragon, and Trailbreaker at New York Toy Fair next weekend.
I hope so. Cool. We're also getting an RC from the Cyberverse line. I mean, we're going to get it for the deluxe class.
2 deluxe class.
I'll never see him.
RC this year.
I'll never see him. Look, I stand a better chance of finding gold in my backyard than finding an RC in any store around here. I'm not even a bit exaggerating. I literally have a better chance of finding gold or diamonds in my backyard. Because that's how rare she is.
I have better chances of finding a penny in the street than I do finding a new Earthrise than finding any Transformers Earthrise figures where I live. And and the reason I can say that with fervor is because I picked up 4 pennies off the street this weekend, and I picked up 0 Transformers Earthrise figures from my local Target store. So
I went to Target yesterday, and not yesterday, day before yesterday, and also Walmart, and no Earthrise at all. Period. And I was like, really? Are you not going to? And I think it was Target. that ended up having Wave 1 of Cyberverse. And I was like, okay, there's Ultra Magnus, there's Shockwave, there's, Chromia, but still.
I have never seen a Chromia. I saw a Chromia once. I take that back. I saw a Chromia once. I've never seen Ultra Magnus, but once. And I passed him up to get a Power of the Primes, Rodimus, Rodimus Prime that was still there, and I picked it up I got it for really cheap. And no, it wasn't Rodimus. It was another one. I forget. Point is that I've never seen an Ultra Magnus, and Input and I was just talking about Ultra Magnus last night, and Input.
Yeah, we are. Hey man, look man.
Input's turning himself into he's doing his Mirage impression. Sometimes
There you go.
Sometimes he isn't there.
He's more ninja than I am at the moment.
Okay, to be fair, real quick, I'm not even going to do my Letterkenny joke because whatever. To be fair, okay, I did it. Anyway, so I'm playing with Siege Astro Train or Earthrise Astro Train. Yeah, but I got you covered on the Ultra Magnus, brother. Don't worry about that.
Oh, yes.
I'll send you one out as soon as I can. I'll send you one out next payday. So
there you go. And finally, for some news, I saw the Banana Force MPL-02 Great Armor, and what a fucking disappointment. It's supposed to be the 2001 Car Robot God Magnus, okay? And
disappointment.
It is a disappointment. It is, for those of you not familiar, in the chat, what we're talking about, real quick, I will show you what we're talking about. This is the Car Robots or God Magnus or the Robots in Disguise Ultra Magnus. This is him, all right? This is him. Now, you look at that figure. It has some cues, but the rest of it, it's anime robot, okay? And I love anime robots. Don't get me wrong. I love anime robots. But it's supposed to be Ultra Magnus? No, it doesn't. No. It's an action figure of disappointment is what it is, in my opinion. Other people may love it, but as far as I'm concerned, Banana Force, you're bananas.
I want to say Trans 38. I agree. I hope they show some Ghostbuster stuff off there too. I've seen it, and I laughed because Nikki was like, "Hey, I want the bunny now," and I was like, something NinjaBill was talking about is the Banana Force, and I was like, "Oh, do you think?" And this is, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. Do you think that third party is having to, I guess, change it up so we're not getting carbon copies of everyone else third party lines that come out? Could that be the reason why they chose to go that route?
I think okay, so I think that's a bit of a loaded question for me. Real quick, Trans Aaron, yes, I love Ghostbusters. But I think this is what frustrates me with Banana Force, and like Nero says, Banana Farce. First of all, Fire Convoy is supposed to have a ladder. Stop, we get all this G1 stuff, which is fine. We get Beast Wars stuff. We get hyper imagined garbage Beast Wars stuff like that Fans Hobby Lio Convoy. It looked just
or that supposed Dragon Megatron one that
yes.
looked anime-esque. Okay, it looked there was no design. There was no hints other than the color and it being a dragon that it was Megatron. All right, because it looked like all the design cues were. Nothing was taken from the original figure. Now, that said, I forget what it is, the other Dragon Megatron one from third party, that looks amazing. That looks amazing. But that first one, no.
And that looks the part. My whole thing about Banana Force and all those other guys out there doing like these hyper stylized whatever characters, it's fine. I mean, that's going to fit a market in there somewhere. That's fine, whatever. But I feel like there's a bigger market out there for what the character is supposed to look like versus some hyper stylized nonsense. Like, I go back to it every time. That Lio Convoy at Fans Project release looked retarded. It was a terrible design for Lio Convoy, first and foremost. You want to go for a Cybertronian lion? Cool. Show me a lion on an animal planet. First of all, it's made an entirely way to think outside the box, guys, but press directly up against it while thinking outside of it.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, artistic license only goes so far in my mind.
Right, right. And that Lio Convoy, it's what, 4 years old now? 4 years old. I don't want to say 5, but I'll say about 4. And MP48 is Lio Convoy, and we're finally getting a really awesome looking Lio Convoy that looks like Lio Convoy.
Yes.
And it's like I said, so that Lio Convoy that came out, who is that supposed to be for exactly? The 5 people who thought that looked cool? Okay, great.
Yeah.
They bought it, but I didn't buy it. I thought it looked bad, and I didn't think it fit the character design of Lio Convoy. So
Nope,
Banana
I didn't
Force, if you want to give us a Fire Convoy, great. Give us a Fire Convoy that looks like Fire Convoy. Give us a God Magnus that looks like a God Magnus. That's all it is. And then if you want to do the hyper stylized stuff, I'm cool with that. But give us
Revoltech did hyper stylized, but they did it right. I mean, look at the Revoltech Optimus Prime and their Ultra Magnus. Those were hyper stylized based on the Dreamwave, I think, look, and they looked great.
No, they looked fantastic. But the thing is with that, there's also another Magnus out there for you to get if you don't like that, right? There at that time, as of right now, there's not another Fire Convoy masterpiece. As of right now, there's no other Lio Convoy out on the market to get. There's no, you see what I'm saying? Like, there's no other. So I'm not saying that if you don't like it, you still have to buy it to have a representation on your shelf at all whatsoever. But I'm saying that fill that gap there first with a cartoon accurate before you move into the hyper stylized stuff.
And I agree with that. I mean, especially, when you're dealing with G1, every third-party company and has beat that horse completely into the ground. And I get it. I know there's an audience. I know there's fan base for it. It's not a figure that I'm looking at going, I've got to get this one. Nikki wants it now because she called it the bunny. But, I do see that, pretty much anything that's not G1 kind of gets, I guess, looked over by a third party, or it gets ignored, or they take creative licensing on the figures. Do you think could that be the fact that when you take a look at G1 figures, Hasbro nor Takara really own the rights to those vehicle modes, and maybe that's why they're so relaxed on that. Maybe they're not so much on any of their other figures because it's more of their own design. You think that could be a possibility?
Well,
I mean,
now
definitely.
to one point, I will say this. Okay, yes, Hasbro doesn't own the rights to the alternate modes, but they do own the rights to the likenesses of their robot modes and of the character names. They actually do. They don't own the alternate modes designs because they don't want to pay the licensing fees to whatever company, GM, Chevrolet, Ford, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They don't want to. I mean, perfect example is what they did to the, of course, car robots. The car robot brothers, the 3 of them. They didn't want to pay the licensing fees. Hasbro didn't, so they modded the toys that got released here in the U.S. slightly. Yeah. However, in Japan, they actually bore the actual car emblems. They actually looked like those vehicles. Those are the main difference. You can tell which toys you own, whether you have the RID or the car robots versions, by simply looking at the vehicles. The U.S. versions, I need to change that statement because the later red release of Signbird actually had the auto manufacturer's emblem on it because that was the Japanese release. They only, they changed the packaging. But initially, Sideburn didn't have any of that on him. And again, you can tell just by looking at him. But that was the only one. The other 2, no changes from their Well, I take that back because. Anyway, the point is you're absolutely right.
And I don't know. Like, here's the thing: it's buy what you want, whatever you think looks cool. And I am a big proponent of that. If you think it looks great, buy it. Absolutely buy it. If you love it, great. That's awesome. But I would honestly love to see RID an Armada start to get some masterpiece love. That's not stylized. That's not like, I guess, like forced or janky. You know, when it's like put together, like something that I want something that's solid, like Fans Toys. I would love to see Fans Toys do a Fire Convoy, or Takara to do a Fire Convoy masterpiece, or or an Armada Prime, or an Armada Megatron. Hell, I'd take that too.
Oh yeah, I definitely, if they come up Armada Megatron and
Armada Tidal Wave.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Can you imagine a third? Well, see, third party did a broadside, but they've never done a tidal wave. But they could have probably easily made a tidal wave out of that broadside. I can't remember which company did that broadside. It was hyper stylized too, but still it was a pretty cool looking toy. So I would love to see updates in the RID line. We kind of got updates to the Cybertron line, and that's all good. With the Prime and with the Hot Shot, and that's all good, I guess. But I would love to see some of the other ones too.
Well, and here's my. Sorry, go ahead, NinjaBill.
No, I was waiting on you.
Here's an interesting thought, right? So Takara pretty much said that because the G1 fans have been the loudest about cartoon accuracy, that's why cartoon accuracy is what it is. That's why they're focused so much on cartoon accuracy in both alt mode and bot mode now. And they're basically saying, parts count went up, the price went up because of parts count, because this is what you guys wanted, and this is what you guys are going to get because this is what you wanted. So here's my question. Or interesting, I guess, a thought experiment. So apparently, based on that, if you look at the masterpiece stuff and you look at the Generations line with Earthrise and Siege and all this other stuff, so everyone was yelling about scale. They gave us scale. Everybody was yelling cartoon accurate across the board. They gave us cartoon accuracy. Now, for the last few years, the Beast Wars fans have been like a quiet echo behind the G1 fans, right? They're there. They're loud enough to be heard, but sometimes they get lost in the sound that the G1 fans make, right? What happens when the Armada fans start screaming at the top of their lungs, we want Masterpiece Armada Starscream, we want Masterpiece Megatron, we want Masterpiece Prime, we want Masterpiece Tidal Wave, and all these other guys,
et cetera.
Well, yeah, what happens then with the Beast Wars fans? Because when you look at it, the way the money is set up, right? The Armada fans are, Armada was what, 2003-ish, right?
2004.
Yeah. So they're now getting into the workforce. They're still living at home. Their income is now 100% disposable. Kind of like how the Beast Wars fans currently are. But the Beast Wars fans are starting to move out. The Beast Wars diehard fans are starting to try to save up for maybe a car. Maybe they got college, whatever, right? So now the Armada fans, what happens when they start coming in behind them? Do the Beast Wars fans, are they going to, I don't want to say suffer like the G1 fans, but are they going to be in that same boat while the Armada fans are starting to get everything that they want?
Well, I also think that like we were talking about the third party figures and third party, I think that you'll start seeing more of those actors whenever they see Hasbro doing that, because then they're not really taking a full chance. Because I mean, you really take a look at third party, they only give you characters that they know that Hasbro's going to come out with, and they're going to make them better. My thing is that I think that Beast Wars is going to get the love if and when the movie gets made, how it's going to be made, how it's going to be when it comes out. I think we'll see more Beast Wars, especially around the 25th anniversary. But you do bring up a good point. I mean, does the fans of Armada outweigh Transformers in Disguise? Or are they going to do what I've said, and like Nikki and I were talking about? I would be all right if they just did a Universal where all those characters got a figure, and from Hasbro, and in any of the line. I mean, that's why I like the Galaxy upgrade. Optimus Prime. I agree with NinjaBill. There's certain things with the plastic that shouldn't be that thin and that loose. But I would be all right if Hasbro decides to say, hey, we're going to come out with all of these characters, but we're going to come out with a particular line. I think that line that we're going to see it, and it's going to give that people the itch, is going to be this one, to be completely and totally honest.
You talking about Earthrise?
No, I'm talking about
Cyberverse.
The Cyber. See, this is a Cyberverse character, but it's not a part of the Cyberverse line. The Build-A-Figures is actually its own line, which is the Bumblebee Adventure. And I think what we'll end up seeing is that with those figures there, they'll have, Beast Wars. I mean, for crying out loud, we're getting an RC out of that line. And we hadn't had an RC since Generations. And so I think that's what's going to end up happening, is Hasbro to make sure they still keep the license, still keep the names. I think that's what the Bumblebee Adventures line is for, is to give people that itch in that with that there. You get those obscure characters just like you do from the Marvel Legends. Same way. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It does. I'm following you. My thought is that we'll probably get a sprinkling of the Armada line, like we got a sprinkling of the Cybertron line. Maybe in upcoming, maybe even in the last wave of Earthrise, and maybe in the next line, whatever it is going to be called. Please, David, stop saying Kicker. I hated Kicker. Oh, worst Transformer human character ever. No Kicker. No.
I would love for them to make a 6-inch Kicker figure based on the new G.I. Joe Jazzwares figures. Just saying.
I'm glad you guys enjoy Kicker.
Well,
wow.
Okay. Here's why I say that, because Jazzwares doesn't own those molds. Hasbro owns those molds. It's the same reason why they can't use the Star Wars molds to make Transformers characters or G.I. Joe characters, because they don't own the molds. Marvel owns those molds. Disney owns those molds. Hasbro just uses it, and it's just like a rental type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Jazzwares comes along, and G.I. Joe, they start pumping out G.I. Joe. Hasbro owns those molds. Hasbro could turn around and simply just be like, hey, man, we want to do a Kicker. We want to do a Carly. We want to do a Spike, a Daniel. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Give me a 6-inch Kicker. I'm totally down for that. Scale out the window. I don't care if he's taller than freaking 6-inch Astro Train. I don't care.
I think this Kicker here is based upon I think it was the Sigma 6 line. If I'm not mistaken, when this Kicker was released, I think he's based on the Sigma 6. I could be mistaken, but I can't stand the character in the cartoon. The toy itself is okay. Don't get me wrong. The toy itself is great. Great articulation, all that stuff. Be aware, I had to put on an Autobot symbol on there because the other one faded off so fast. But Kicker is my least favorite human character ever, and I never want to see another Kicker again.
I'll take that figure off your hands.
Jar Jar Binks of Transformers. Kicker's the Jar Jar Binks of Transformers.
Thank you. Hey,
NinjaBill. NinjaBill. So I've got I've got an idea what you can do with that kicker figure. If you don't like him that much, just send him over to me. That's the whole thing. Just send him to me if you don't like him. So.
This one's a bit of
with that joke, NinjaBill.
This one's a bit of a rare gem because he was featured only in a 2-pack, and right here, that's
Haywire.
He was only featured in a 2-pack.
Highwire.
Yep, Highwire. The only way you could get him was in this 2-pack, and so I grabbed this 2-pack and I was like, okay. I didn't think I thought it was going to be a shelf warmer, and it turned out to be, one of those that were bought up by everybody, and including, those freaking scalpers. I hate them. But anyway, now he's hard to find. Now he's really hard to find. Really hard to find. You know what? Since we're live and I'm going to do this, I suggest a trade with you. Input. I suggest you can get me that Ultra Magnus and a Chromia. I will send these guys back to you.
Ultra Magnus and Chromia.
There you go.
All right, I can do that.
because do you have these guys?
No, actually I don't.
Yeah, they're rare gems. Again, this I think is based off the Sigma 6. Now they had no accessories other than a Energon star, and I've lost that Energon star. That's the only accessory they came with was a single Energon star.
So he's not. So he's not complete.
I have extra Energon stars I was going to throw in, but hey, that's okay. That's okay if you want to call him in. No, he's not boxed, obviously.
No,
I don't have the original packaging. I don't have the original packaging either. Which is
that's fine. So I got a question. When I ship those figures to you, can I take those figures out of the box to save on shipping? That Ultra Magnus box
you can. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
You can take them out as long as I get the instructions. I don't care.
Okay, fair enough.
So we have a deal. There you go, folks. A deal live on television, except it's YouTube and television.
We're talking about Siege Chromia, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because the other one I've never had much love for that old mode, that motorcycle mode. That being said, I love motorcycle Transformers. And what do you got there, TFN Geek? You got I can't really see from the side. Oh, okay. Yes. There you go. So TFN Geek, you never really weighed in on our conversation. But what do you think would be cool to have as a representation of the Armada Energon lines? Because we've gotten splashes of them of the Cybertron line.
Yeah.
Do you think we should see a splash of a character or two here in one of the upcoming lines? And what do you feel they could make out of that line versus, like, say, maybe a Beast Wars or something? Because Input was really, really concise with how he foresaw something like that happening.
What did I foresee?
That somebody would be really upset if Armada or Energon came out ahead of Beast Wars.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay, so here's the thing. I do have favorite characters from each of the three Unicron trilogy lines. For Armada, my favorite character is Jetfire. And since he's modeled after the Generation 1 Autobot character of Galaxy Shuttle, I think they could pull off a new figure of Armada Jetfire. Because
I hadn't thought about that. You're right.
Mm-hmm. Wait, what were you saying, NinjaBill? About me or someone in chat?
Trans-Aaron 38 was leaving the group, so I said later.
Okay, have a good night, Trans-Aaron 38.
Have a good night.
And you were saying
night, bud.
Yeah. But yeah, that's one thing. All of my favorite characters from each of the three Unicron trilogy lines are based off Generation 1 characters. My favorite character from Transformers Energon is Wing Saber, and he's modeled after Generation 1 Star Saber. And but the reason why I like those characters is because they can combine with Optimus Prime from each of those series. And with Takara Tomi's new Armada Optimus Prime that they've shown the prototype of, I really hope they give us Jetfire and Overload to combine with him like the original Armada figures did.
That would be cool.
But in the grand scheme of things, there are some characters that were created originally for Transformers Armada that weren't based off of previous characters, such as Tidal Wave. And I'm trying to remember if there were any original characters in Energon. I'm looking at my Energon shelf. The only original character created for Transformers Energon was Bulkhead. That's one thing a lot of people forget is that Bulkhead wasn't created for Transformers Animated. He was created way back in Energon in 2004.
Yeah, he was a helicopter.
Yeah, he was based off of... and Energon Bulkhead, he was a combination of Springer and Cup. He physically looked like Springer, but his attitude and the tone of his voice was Generation 1 Cup. So if you guys have ever imagined what Springer would look like as an old man, just watch clips of Energon Bulkhead and you'll get an idea.
Pax said in the chat, Fans Hobby is already doing Armada Prime, Overload, and Jetfire.
Nice.
Yeah. Fans Hobby is already doing Armada Prime, Overload, and Jetfire, Pax said.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
but if
Neuro said he wants a Commander class Demolisher. I'm not sure Commander class. Well, no, I don't think Commander class would be the right scale for him. I could see a Voyager class.
If it was Cybertron Starscream, I think Commander class would work for the Cybertron version of Starscream.
Oh, I think that's too big.
More of a leader.
Leader for Starscream.
Yeah.
Demolisher should be Voyager.
Leader for Cybertron Starscream? Are you guys kidding me?
Yeah.
Don't you remember how big he was? Cybertron Starscream?
Yeah, no, remember how big the toy was, but I mean
the characters themselves.
Yeah,
the character himself.
Yeah, no, actually, if you guys haven't seen Transformers Cybertron for a while, because halfway through the series, when Starscream absorbs some of the power of the Omega Lock, even though he grows to the size of a planet in that one episode where he battles Primus and he loses, after that, if you actually watch the episodes, Starscream is taller than Galvatron. Because in the final battle in Transformers Cybertron between Starscream and Galvatron, Starscream is bigger than Galvatron, so he was, in the final few episodes of the series, size accurate to the Supreme Class action figure Hasbro released of him.
Oh, yeah. I had that Supreme Class toy, but I gave it to a friend of mine for his birthday because he was a big Starscream fan, so I regret that now. But, man, he's such a cool dude and one of my best friends, so he loves Starscream, so I gave it to him and kept the smaller version. Yes, that one right there. It's an awesome toy. Needed better articulation, but otherwise an awesome toy.
And he's roughly the same size as Titan Class Predicate.
Yeah, which is crazy. No, I think if they're going to splash characters in, I would kind of like to see a Snowcat come in there.
Yeah.
You could cover two homages in one, not only the Snowcat from the Energon line, but also the Snowcat from G.I. Joe, two homages in one.
I'm just going to say this. I'll just say this about Demolisher. If they do end up doing a Demolisher, that dude better come with his cloak, brown hood thing that he wore in those first few episodes.
That was Scavenger.
Or Scavenger.
That was Scavenger, yeah.
Yeah, Scavenger.
No, Demolisher was the idiot who kept getting blasted all the time.
No, you're right. I'm transforming Astro Train again, so I'm kind of.
Yeah, he was sort of a tan and brick red color. That's Demolisher.
Yeah. And he had one eye bigger than the other one.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had that toy for a while, but I broke it.
If I had to choose one character from the entire Unicron trilogy to be given an updated toy, it would be Vector Prime from Cybertron.
Oh God, yes, and he should be a Commander class. He should definitely be a Commander class, because man, that old dude was my favorite character. Period. Bar none on the show, on the Cybertron show. My favorite toy was obviously Optimus Prime, and Vector Prime was a great toy too. But I lost it in the move. I lost about 100 toys. I don't know.
I admit it. I cried the episode when Vector Prime disintegrated. I cried my eyes out when I saw him dying. I did not expect that. I honestly thought he was going to survive until the end of the series.
David said, "Shh, don't mention Astro Train. ACP is upset still."
Oh, dude, I'm sorry. I keep throwing this in your face, man. AC, God, man, I feel like a dick. Like,
he's all sitting back there quiet in his corner and going, I don't have
right.
Astro Train. I don't have Astro Train.
I'm gonna say one more. I'm just gonna say one more thing about AT, right? Okay. Dude, when you get this guy, I'm just gonna say it. I do my Transformers blind, right? Because it's a puzzle. I didn't know if I was going to train or shuttle at all. Really? Yeah, and the train is 100% train. The shuttle is 100% shuttle. The bot is 100% bot. The whole thing is really, it's such an awesome figure. It's hefty. It's totally worth the $50. And
not if you ask Dennis Moulton, as he said earlier. He said he's got buyer's remorse. He does not like it.
I heard, and I think the main issue that I think I don't want to speak for anybody who can't defend themselves sort of situation.
Exactly.
But I will say this: I think a lot of people are getting caught up in the scale with the older lines, and Hasbro wasn't really worried about scale then.
Right.
So they did Astro Train. They already did Blitzwing, but they already did Astro Train as well. So I'm thinking somewhere down the line that we could get a new Octane. We could get a new Blitzwing, stuff like that. So I don't think that's outside the realm of possibilities. But I do think that people are forgetting that Hasbro said that they're now worried about scale, and the older lines are kind of out the window for the most part. I mean, Omega Supreme.
That's obvious. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's obvious, especially with the difference between the older Voyager class and the newer Voyager class. The deluxes are pretty much almost the same. There's about half a head difference, if that, a quarter of a head difference. A quarter. It's not bad. I'm like you, Input in some ways. I'm not a scale junkie, okay? But there are some characters that I just feel that have to be larger than others, simply because of that's the way I remember them. And now that could change from person to person. Some other people may not see the same scale as I do, the way I remember it. So it's subjective. Yes, scale is subjective, especially when you look at the character models from the original cartoon.
Yes. Absolutely. I mean,
So I have a quick question for you guys. They announced that Earthrise is going to have a third faction of Transformers called the Mercenaries, and they announced that Double Dealer might be getting either a Voyager or Leader class figure in the Earthrise line, and I think they're going to lump the Quintessons in with the Mercenaries. So,
if you go off the Transformers TCG, the Mercenary team is already a faction in that game. So if you go off of that, Earthrise might even get a new lockdown, because he's a mercenary in that set. And the reason why I say lockdown is because Nightbird's in the game as a mercenary, but she uses her siege artwork both front and back for her bot mode and car mode. So, and lockdown and what's his not Drift. What was his name before Drift? Before Deadlock. Yeah. Deadlock is a mercenary as well. He's part of that faction, so there could be a Deadlock somewhere down the line in Earthrise. And that's just going off the TCG. But they had to invent new art for those cards.
Yeah.
Well, take a look also with the Cyberverse line. You've got Ramjet and you got Deadlock that's coming out, and typically the characters that's come out for the Cyberverse line has had a character for the Siege line or now the Earthrise line. So I think we see several of those guys.
So my question is, when the Mercenaries were announced, a lot of people were saying one of the potential mercenary characters could be the Unicron trilogy character Sideways. So my question to you guys is, if we get a new figure of Sideways, would you want him to look more like he did in Transformers Armada or Transformers Cybertron?
Cybertron.
Or a combination of both?
Cybertron, because he was that black stealth jet And whereas in Armada, he was just that purple gold motorcycle, and it wasn't. I have that toy still, and it's not as attractive as the Sideways from Cybertron because he just looked meaner. He looked more imposing. So
I'll say this. And then I'll answer that question, and then I gotta go because because Oracle is bothering me to go watch this Lock and Key show on Netflix.
Oh,
So, uh, here's the deal. In all honesty, I like the Sideways design from Armada better, but why not both?
there you go.
I mean, why not? They're both two completely different designs, and if Hasbro really wanted to push trademark, or not trademark limits, but they really wanted to push the envelope a little bit, they could say the Armada one is Sideways, and the other one is like Side Warp or Side Scraper. Just give the second Sideways a different name, so that way people didn't feel like they're double dipping or anything.
Mhm.
And since it's a completely different mold, it's a completely different look. It's a stealth bomber versus a motorcycle. Why not just have both?
Make him a triple changer?
Huh?
Make him a triple changer, you're saying?
No. Just have an Armada version at retail, and then have like say Earthrise Wave 2 would be the Armada motorcycle version, and he could be a headmaster or something like that. Because they have the Titan Master technology, they could really easily implement something there. And then in say like Wave 4, have a retail release of Sideways again, just as a stealth bomber.
Yeah. But I think it's good. I'm going to end the show. It's been 2 hours and 21 minutes, much longer than I normally go for. But I'm no ACP. I'm not an hour-to-hour champion like you. So, quick before we go, I want everybody to plug themselves real quick. Tell us a little bit about what you got going on, and plug yourselves, and then we'll end the show. So we'll start with Tia Fengi.
Okay, well, first of all, Autocrit Primer, are we still on for tomorrow night's live stream?
We sure are.
Okay, so tomorrow night on Autocrit Primer's live stream, if it's all right with you, Autocrit Primer, I'd like to do another coin flip.
Okay.
The coin flip will decide which of these two figures I will review. Will I either review the Autobot Micromaster Race Hot Rod Patrol set, or will I review my most recent third-party purchase, which is Iron Factory's versions of Runabout and Runamuck. So those are the two figures up for choice this week.
Awesome.
And as far as stuff new, nothing much new. I haven't had much luck with the Transformers Earthrise line. I still need to get the Battlemaster Siege. So if anyone finds Singe, the final Decepticon Battlemaster to be released in the Siege line, please let me know, and I will gladly buy him from you. Whichever payment option you want to work out with me. So I'd really appreciate that. But I have Earthrise Optimus Prime incoming from Amazon, so I'm glad I at least got Optimus Prime. And for now, I am excited to see which Transformers figures we're finally going to see being released in Earthrise when New York Toy Fair takes place next weekend.
Okay, and input?
Hi, my name's Input. You can find me on YouTube at Input in-PUT. Me and a couple of guys here on the live stream. You guys should know this old bit by now. We have a podcast on my channel. It's called Tales from Teletran. It airs every Saturday night from 9 to 11 p.m. Central Standard Time. And if you guys want to join in, the live chat is always open. If you guys want to be a guest host, just hit me up about a week beforehand, and I can run it over with the other guests, and we could talk about it and see if you guys get to be wild and wild in the pack. And if that all sounds a gravy baby to you, then you can also find me on Instagram at Ernest P. Whirl. You know what I mean, Vern? That's right, Ernest P. Whirl. And what am I doing currently on the channel? I am finishing up a review for the Shattered Glass TFC Perseus figure. I've got one more video to put out to show everyone how exactly to combine that figure. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. And after that, I have a, Siege Red Wing to review. And I've got some older Combiner Wars, rare Combiner Wars figures to review. Got some stop motion stuff in the works coming up. And this has been long-winded enough. So I will pass it back to you, NinjaBill.
Okay, and finally, ACP.
All right. ACP, Autocrat Primer, you can pretty much find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook now. Yeah, but also Art Teacher for Life. You can check out her Facebook and other stuff. We also have a website, Bitter Tea Media. Check it out. You'll also, when you go there, should have links to all the guys is in or close to it. He's still working on it. As you see the face.
I'm working on it right now.
Yeah, that will have links to everybody's YouTube and podcast. We also do a podcast.
And if you are a Transformer video person, contact me at artteacherforlife@gmail.com, and I will put your link in there too.
Yes, off our website. We've got 2 books coming out. One's going to be in April, which I can now share the title of it, which is In the Mind of a Conspiracy Nut. And then the other one should be sometime in July. I can't release that name yet for that book. And then what else?
Might not be July though. I'm thinking September.
Oh, okay. And then from there, my brain's not working. Oh, we have a podcast, which is Autocrat Primer, ACP reviews. And I think that's it. I didn't forget anything.
On anchor.com.
Yeah, Anchor. Yeah. Anchor away.
Anchors away indeed. All right. So thank you very much all for joining me. Nikki, Derek, TFN Geek, Input, everybody in chat, David, Pack, Trans-Aaron 38, I forget, Solomus 44, Solomus 44, pardon me, misspoke that, and everybody else has joined us in chat. Cato earlier before, now they're on the Rejecticon show. I don't know if that's still going on. It might still be, but thank you again. Make sure to check out my channel, NinjaBill 1000. Check me out on Twitter at NinjaBill01. Check me out on Instagram at NinjaBill1000. And Facebook, I am Shinobi Biru on Facebook. And I do awesome daily posts on, 5 days a week, I do a random Transformer post where I feature a pictorial review of toys, or Transformer toys from past lines. And everybody seems to enjoy those actually better than they seem to enjoy my reviews. So at any rate, check me out at all those places. Everybody, be good to each other and have a great night.
Night, everybody.